My name is Antonio Hash, and I'm the Sheriff of Roanoke City, and I want to welcome you back to Studio 340. Today at the table, we have some of our residents, our program coordinators, here to talk about what it looks like for re-entry, going back into society, embracing life as we return back as citizens, not residents, but citizens of our great city. And like the mayor always say, our 8-time All-American city. And so today, this is very, very near and dear to my heart, because I'm about, making sure that our residents who come into our building, that we return them back into society better than the way I found them. And so some people come into our custody broken, almost damaged goods. But if we don't give them the ability to get better, then what happens is this becomes a revolving door for our citizens. I want to create change. And so again, thank you all for this opportunity. Thank you all for tuning in today. And again, I'm excited for what's next. This is a secure setting, and so people when they see this setup, it's like, why are the residents in there? But it's inside our facility. We're not outside the building. This is in a secure area because, again, we understand they're still paying their debt to society, and so we can't change that part. What we can change is the narrative of their story, and I believe that the outcome of that story is better than what it was when they came in. They always say what's to come is better than what's been. I believe that they have an amazing story to tell. Today I'm going to start off by having the person to my left introduce herself, and then we'll go down the table and have our other residents introduce themselves. Let's go.
Well, good morning. My name is Andrea Rando, and I am a certified behavioral health specialist here under the great leadership of Sheriff Hash.
Thank you.
I am so excited to be a part of this opportunity.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Resident Lepisto. I'm serving some time for a couple different county charges, and so I've entered into the programs and getting the most I can out of them.
Good morning. My name is Resident Paget. I'm excited to be here and for us to talk about our story and share it with everyone.
Thank you. All right, so here we go. So, people are like, why they at the table, right? And I'm excited they're at the table because they have a story to tell. And so I'm going to give it off to Ms. Randall, as she's going to ask questions for our residents, and then we're going to communicate with each other and see where we go from here. Let's go.
All right, so thank you guys for being a part of the RIGNITE community here. And so can you tell everybody what were your initial thoughts and feelings when you first joined programs? And what were some of the challenges that you guys faced?
Well, I came in here suffering from a lot of shame from some of my choices. I was coping in the wrong way with some losses in my life and some really traumatic experiences I've been through. So when I signed up for the programs, I didn't really know what to expect. And then I got there and I was like, wow, all these women have been through so much just like what I've been through. And it was like a fellowship, of all of us together to kind of getting through our consequences that we must pay for our mistakes, that we're teaching our children to pay for their mistakes. And so we're doing it together. And just to know that somebody cares and that someone's there to actually reach out to us is actually made my stay here so much more valuable than if I was just feeling locked away in a cage, so yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And at first, I was really, nervous, but then excited at the same time because I wasn't sure what to expect. I was really pleased to see how everybody came together when we all talked, and everyone got along, everyone was empathetic towards each other, and just really came together and, like Molly said, had a fellowship.
Yeah.
So the programs were actually, again, bringing you all to the table. First getting you all to commit to the program, right?
Right.
Got into the program, got to the table, and when you got there, learning the process and some of the things that was expected from you all in programs, right? Mm-hmm. One of the things was showing up.
Right.
The biggest challenge was showing up every week, right?
Right.
Getting there, doing the work, understanding what the ask was of you. Because when you get into society, one of the challenges is going to work every day, right? Mm-hmm. Getting up, going to work, regardless if you don't want to go or not. Like this morning, I didn't feel like coming in today, right? But I realized we still have responsibilities. We got kids, we got family. So showing up, so that's always good. So thank you all for committing. A lot of people don't know how to commit to stuff, so thank you for committing. I appreciate your hearts.
And that's a great segue, Sheriff. And so the next question is, how important have these programs been in your own growth and rehabilitation journey since you've been here?
I think without programs, it would be impossible to rehabilitate incarcerated individuals. It's kind of, in my opinion, punitive without punitive without purpose, if that makes sense. Some people may not feel that way, but it's something that we can sit here and watch TV all day long, and just kind of stay in our bunks, but if we don't have any type of programs, and it doesn't bring to head really what we came in here for. We want to leave better than we came in.
Absolutely.
And, my family, and what keeps me motivated is my family and my kids, and I deserve for me to be the best that I can be.
Absolutely.
Right. Awesome. And so I have a question specifically for you, Molly. Can you tell us what is a lesson that you have learned out of any of the programs that you have taken?
I would say it's easy to lose your self-esteem when you're it's often embarrassing to be reprimanded or to suffer consequences of your choices. So, it comes with a lot of shame. And so, to actually be able to look in the mirror and say, I am still valuable, I'm still me, to be reminded that I'm an amazing mother, I'm an amazing carpenter, I still have all those good qualities about me. My mistakes don't define me.
So you got skills.
Yeah, I do. I'm a master
my
carpenter.
goodness.
I'm in timeout right now, so
Listen.
learning what not to do.
So I heard the part where you said you're a great carpenter, you're a great mother. And what people have to realize is that once you pay your debt to society and you do your time, you're going back into society. Mm-hmm. And so when you touch down, go back out into the community, the goal is to make you better. Right. Because if not, you're going to reoffend. And once you reoffend, you're coming back inside the building. Mm-hmm. And so my goal is, we talk about recidivism, right? What are our numbers? And if we don't prepare, opportunity for our residents, our numbers keep on fluctuating, going back and forth, because we don't have consistency in programs. That's why it's imperative that we go out to these grants. It's imperative that we open up a resource center on the outside, so that way you don't have to come back into the detention center to get that resource. You can go to our building across the street if you need to get that resume, if you need to get that food, if you need to get a bus card, or you need counseling, or you need services. The resource hub is important. I'm speaking into existence right now. I can see it. RSO already on the building, right? That was my plug, my shameless plug, so thank you.
And I have one final question for you. The question is, we have a premier training here, and it addresses trauma. Can you tell us what are some coping skills and some lessons that you have learned when you had to look into your own trauma and start dealing with those issues?
The main thing that I learned and took from my trauma specifically was that it's okay to ask for help.
Yes.
Before I came in, I was very overly independent, and that was part of my trauma. I was overly independent. I shouldered too much everything. I wore a mask every single day, and that's a symptom of trauma. And I didn't realize that until I was in class. And so it's okay to ask for help, and I realized that, and I need to ask for help. And I have support that I've mapped out with another tool from the trauma class. And I've learned that not one relationship can satisfy everything, so with support. So that's been really important to me, and that's been a big thing for me, because I did mask until I came in.
I think, Amy hit the nail on the head. When you're in these programs, it's holding you accountable, and it's giving you the routine you need so when you go back into society, you've started repairing relationships with people, and you've broken that cycle of bad choices, which a lot of times we have to be maybe yanked off the hamster wheel of bad choices, but it redirects, these programs redirect us.
Residents individually growing naturally and intentionally through education is our RIGNITE program. As you all are part of the program, our main focus is to, again, rehabilitate you, prepare you back for society. This podcast today was just to simply talk about, the message from the inside, because a lot of people oftentimes, they see you locked up, they see you with the chains, they see you with the jumpsuits, but they don't know your story, right? And then it's your story that literally got you here, right? And then because your story, your background, the crime or whatever landed you here, right? None of us are exempt from life. Life be life. It's how we handle crisis in the moment that put us in a better place, right? And I tell a lot of people, just because we got a badge on, don't mean we exempt from life. If you need counseling, go get counseling. If you need peer support, call somebody. Because I'd rather be there to help you as we can than get in a bad situation that we can't help you, right? And so that's why it's always good. So again, I just want to commend you all for your commitment again to programs and what we do here at the Roanoke City Adult Detention Center. It's just amazing. So I appreciate you. So this is from the inside. So,
From the inside.
There you go, Ms. Randall.
Thank you so much for that, Sheriff. And we have Miss. Go ahead.
I'm Resident Daniel.
Thank you for that, Miss
Ms.
Daniel.
Welcome to the table.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
And I have a great segue because I think this question is going to really resonate with you. The sheriff talked about how individuals are viewed from an incarcerated standpoint. Let's talk about keys to freedom, right? So how has one of our other premier training courses here, Keys to Freedom, impacted you, and how has that played into your rehabilitation role since you've been here?
Well, before I got here, I was 3 steps away from death. And, after I arrived in jail, not wanting to be here, my faith was the only thing that kept me going. And upon entering that program and having it change my life, it changed me from the inside. Honestly, it changed me from the inside. So for me, it has played the most important role in rehabilitating me. But so did the trauma program as well.
And I think they go hand in hand, the trauma
Absolutely.
with the keys to freedom, helping us implement the things we're learning into a routine daily and to
That
go
is
to our
correct.
higher power when we can't think of anywhere else to go,
That's
'cause,
right.
yeah, on this side of the bars, it is really hard sometimes, so you gotta have a hand,
Knowing that you guys really care
Yeah.
and you really show up for us just as much as we show up for you. You guys show up for us. Like Miss Randall says, pitfalls to purpose.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I just believe in, again, you can't heal from the trauma if you don't learn how to deal with
Right.
your trauma.
Yes.
Right. And
It-
so, the trauma class, thank you, Ms. Randall, and your team for you all putting that trauma class on, because you have to learn how to deal with life.
Yeah.
Situations happen, life happens, so have you dealt with it? Because if you don't end up learning from the process, you're going to repeat the process all over again, right? And then keys to freedom, because you all were able to get free because you
Yes.
dealt with the trauma
Yes.
that got you here. And so when you walked into that program, it was like, okay, now I'm free.
Yeah.
So now you can continue in your process or with your faith or, your higher
Peace.
being, or peace in your,
Peace
your
on the
own,
inside.
your own inside, right? So I'm appreciative of that. So thank you, Ms. Randall.
Yeah, and we're able to identify what's
Absolutely.
causing us to make these choices, and yeah. what
But let
we
me
can
just
do
ask this, did anybody force you to take these classes in the building?
No.
This is something that you wanted to do, correct?
Yes.
In fact, they're full with waiting lists.
Yeah.
Because all the girls want to come into these classes because we're experiencing all this healing, and so we're going telling about it. And if we only could have larger classrooms with more
Yeah.
spots, because we would fill them up.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
wonderful.
Yeah.
That's absolutely wonderful.
So thank you.
Thank you so much, Sheriff, and thank you, ladies. It's very
Thank you.
heartwarming to know that there is impact being made, in spite of your current situation.
That is correct.
And so this question is, how has these programs shifted your mindset, right? When we talk about how do we think, right, our thoughts affect our emotions, how has it shifted your mindset while you're incarcerated towards transformation and returning back to society?
For me, I have made the conscious choice to go straight from the detention center to rehab.
That's
No
good.
one's making me do that. I want to do that because I want to continue my rehabilitation. I know that there's a lot more work to do, but every great thing that I'm doing, I know starts right here. And I'm content with here, and because of Keys to Freedom and trauma, I have found my peace on the inside,
That's right.
and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I've never made these decisions before. I've been locked up before in other detention centers, and I've never had this outcome. I've never got this help. I've never had people actually care.
Yeah.
Show me, individually, show me that you care.
And it's easy to be trapped in your sorrow, being incarcerated. You know, it's a dark place sometimes, you know. And so to be able to be supported in our rehabilitation and know, hey, I have big plans when I get out. And I know I've been able to identify toxic relationships that I need to stay away from. And
That is correct.
so I've got plans, and it's not going left or right, it's going straight, you know. So thank you so much.
So this message from the inside, you know, this is, again, us dealing with our discharge planners, right? Making sure that the resources are available for those individuals who are transitioning from RCDT back into the community, right? Getting resources, making sure those resources are in the position that's tangible for our people. You know, those who need jobs need to be on the tablets. When they get out, they should be looking at the tablet, looking at jobs already, trying to make that opportunity for themselves. Because again, what stops people from being great is the fact that they don't have the resources, ID when they get out, some type of living assistance, or where they going when they get out, right? Family so far off, so have they been able to communicate with their family? So giving them additional free phone calls to call their family, right? Again, these things are so important for residents transitioning back into society. If we don't give them better, they're going to be back here in a matter of days or months. I'm hopeful, because I've been here 16 years now. I have seen this to be a revolving door for people. But I also seen people leave here with hope again, and I haven't seen some of these same individuals return. That is what's hopeful for me. And if they don't get it the first time, they may need a second time. I'm not gonna just get rid of them because they made a mistake. We all have fallen short in some capacity, because we're all human beings. That's why you have to be careful how you treat people, because it can be you today that's up and then them down to tomorrow, or it can be vice versa, right? So we have to make sure that we always respect people in their places, and to make sure that we always give people exactly what they need for better. I'm excited for what has been taking place here at the Roanoke City Adult Detention Center.
Absolutely.
And I think we have amazing people. We got great staff, residents who came in, understood the situation, but are transitioning now for better. And so you can't ask for anything better than this. Let me just say, Ms. Randall, thank you.
I got one quick question as we wrap up, and that is, what would you ladies be able to share as advice from the inside to those on the outside who are struggling with addiction, trauma, or a troubled past, and they are looking for a way out? What would you tell those individuals?
I would say that, you know, helping hands only come around so often, you know, and if you don't reach out for it now, next time it comes around, you may be a lot farther down the way,
Absolutely.
you know, so take it when you can, you know, absolutely. If you should find yourself here, you know, yeah, absolutely.
Never give up and show up.
Show up for yourself.
Show up for yourself.
First.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rehabilitate you first.
Yes.
Because if you're good for you, you're getting good for your kids, your
Yes.
family, and for the community. So
Absolutely.
anything else, Ms. Randall?
I would say, and just know that there are people that absolutely care. We see you, we see your potential, and we want to make sure that we are able to assist you in reaching that potential while you're here.
And if I could add one more thing, like we were just saying, you know, we are somebody's mother, someone's sister. It could be your child, your cousin, whoever. But no 5-year-old says, "I want to grow up and be an addict," or "I want to grow up and struggle and make bad choices." So you know, it's as humanly possible as any possibility is. So you know, just to show the love, because you really it could be anyone that could be in these
It
situations.
sounds good to me.
Yeah.
It does. Me too.
Well, again, my name is Antonio Hash. I'm Sheriff of Roanoke City. And again, we are inside of RCDC. This is From the Inside, our podcast. And so as you see today, these are residents who have gone through our program and have made a tremendous change for greater strides in our community. We just want to say thank you all for showing up for yourselves and being great individuals as you're about to embark on this next journey of your life. This is the next chapter.
Yes,
and you can
indeed.
write this in your book.
So excited.
So I'm so excited
We
for
thank
you.
you so
Thank
much,
you.
and Ms. Randall, we thank you so much for your investment. So-
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Again,
Yeah.
this is
Yes.
Sheriff Hash from Studio 340. We are signing off. Until then, take care. Be safe. Be responsible.